And we are live. Hey,
Go
we
for
said
it.
at the same time. What's up, everyone? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the one and only notorious, glorious V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Cuco, a.k.a. CJ, the producer extraordinaire, a.k.a. the Hispanic heartthrob, a.k.a. Latino Heat. And we are giving you the news, the views, and all the information that's important to you. Check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at The Rogue Money and Rogue Money on Facebook. With that being said, also, guys, check us out on DTube, every single podcasting app known to humanity. Steam it. I mean, we're everywhere you want us to be. And with that officially out of the way, CJ, let's just talk about real quick about our sponsors, RemainCom.net. RemainCom.net, whether you need your credit score fixed, you need money for funding, you need a business loan, a personal loan, whatever the hell it is that you need, or you just need to get their smart banking option where they can protect your bank account against levies, liens, and judgments. These are the guys that can do it all. RemainCom.net, RemainCom.net. And guys, here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about our crypto school. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io. If you want to learn about cryptocurrencies, you want to get involved, you want to know what is a hot tamale in the cryptocurrency world, thecryptoschool.io is the place to learn. We have an exciting faculty. We have some new programs coming out. We got some. It's going to blow your mind off what we got going on. Thecryptoschool.io. Learn how to get into the wallets. What are the best wallets, best exchanges, how to move in and out of fiat. These guys show you how. We bring it like nobody else does. Thecryptoschool.io. And with that, CJ, what's crack-a-lackin', brother?
Hey, good morning, V. Good morning. Pumped up for a big day today. It's Friday. So Fridays always celebrate. Yeah, we got a huge lineup today. So we got Rory from the Daily Coin joining us today.
What time?
We also have Hanging with Harley today.
12,
and then
man.
at 2 o'clock, one of our fan favorites that we always get asked for as a returning guest, coming to us live is Ivan Thorne from the Tradcad Night. So I'm sorry, not Tradcad Night. Listen to me. He has a new book coming out, V. So we want to talk about that.
He has a new book coming out.
9 Laws. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he has a new one. I think he has a new one to follow up to that. So we want to discuss that. But a big day, and very excited, V.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I love Ivan Thorne, folks. If you haven't gotten Ivan Thorne's book, The 9 Laws, I urge you to get it. It is probably one of the greatest, deepest self-improvement books you could ever read. It's not some hokey dokey nonsense. It is understanding. It is basically how to survive in an absolutely brutal world. And to survive in this brutal world, you must become the dark triad man. And you will find out what Ivan means about becoming the dark triad man. So brace yourself. It's going to be awesome. I love when Ivan's on. He's a brother in spirit, an amazing man. He's somebody who is he's deaf. And, he is, he is somebody who's hard of hearing, but yet with the trials and tribulations that he's went through is just led an amazing life. I mean, this guy's lived as a monk in a monastery, learned ninjutsu, self-improvement, and incredible man. So I look forward to having him on, brother.
Yeah, and then hats off to us. I know we got a lot of topics to jump through, but hats off to us as well. Be making the accommodation, getting a captioner there to help him navigate through the interview. There's an auxiliary person that joined us for that live interview that actually is, typing in the background what we're saying, what we're chatting about, so that he can see it. So I know sometimes his maybe a little bit delayed reaction or so forth. It's just because there's just a little bit of time there that it takes. But very excited to have him on. He's working on some amazing things. Yeah. 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rogue Money Radio.
Absolutely, man. Jam-packed day. So we got Harley at 12, we got Rory at 1, and we got Ivan at 2. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you're going to have to eat lunch fast today, V.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but I'm going to start pre-gaming right now.
Well, let's jump in. Let's jump into it. We need to talk briefly about this 5-time deported illegal alien Jose Zarate, found not guilty in murder of Kate Steinle.
Well, what's wrong with that?
This is really gripping. This really taking national attention. This young woman out on the pier with her father was shot and killed. The jury has found him not guilty of murder. They did find him guilty on felony possession of a weapon. What's more important, this in my view, is that this is a 7-time felon, five times deported illegal alien, and this just really concerns me regarding the courts, regarding the entire social justice that has been implemented in the courts, the sanctuary city, and even all those itself. I grieve for the family, for the no justice there for her family. Very young woman, 25 years of age, I believe, her life taken from her.
You know what, man? This is I can't make heads or tails out of this freaking asshole dirtbag piece of shit who's done this. This piece of shit who should be having I would love to be in a room with this guy, and I will bludgeon this man to death myself and sleep well at night knowing I've done the Lord's work. This asshole piece of shit, this worthless piece of shit. I'm sorry for the foul language, folks. I'm just angry at reading this. This guy is somebody who is absolutely dead to rights. How does this piece of shit, this filth, this refuse, this low IQ animal, how does he get away with this? He faces a maximum sentence of 3 years on a weapons charge? I mean, are you kidding me? And the worst part is they're going to factor the time that he's already served? So basically he's going to be getting out next week or something like that? I mean, are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very concerning in regards to the courts and how they look at these things. And there's already a little bit, not everything has to have conspiracy. And I love it when the people that look at everything from an angle that, let's take a look to see what's really going on. There's some thoughts that he was set up so that they could pass some new laws and do all these things. Let's face some facts here that there's no new laws that need to pass. There's laws currently on the books regarding, the ways to come to this country, way to do it right. And here we have a 5-time deported illegal alien, killed an American citizen. People do not understand. Like, for example, if this happened in other countries, there wouldn't be any trial, right? There wouldn't be any of that. And as an American, go to Mexico, for example. Just go across the border illegally and see what happens to you then.
What, they don't embrace me?
Do you think that they're going to give you preferential treatment? You'll be thrown in jail and locked away.
So you're telling me they won't embrace me in love if I cross the Mexican border illegally?
Perhaps. It depends on what you take with you.
Oh,
they usually will take cash at the border too.
But that's considered a love gift. Again, they're so much very tolerant.
Yeah, and time after time, we see this again, and this is just one example of the courts. We didn't cover this in the deck, but again, I want to move through the other stories rather quickly. But we also witnessed the events that unfolded in regards to Christopher Stevens, the ambassador that was killed, the main organizer regarding that the courts allowed him to get off free. Time after time, we witness this, and it's just completely disgusting regarding the courts and what transpires every.
Yes, absolutely, man. And the whole entire thing here is this entire situation it's quite remarkable, man. I'm still livid about the fact that how's this idiot? I'm still reeling at the fact that this idiot, dead to rights, trigger on the finger, prints on the gun, dead to rights, is the murder weapon. He is the shooter. He is the guy who did it. And he walks away scot-free. 7-time felon. 5-time deported. California is a piece of crap state. I don't know. Look, the weather's beautiful. I love the Los Angeles, the Angeles Crest Highway. I love it. Favorite driving road. Great food. Great weather. But damn it, your politics suck. Your politics suck. You're being turned into a third world country, California. You are a failed state. Your financials are worse than Greece. Your financials are worse. You are a Zimbabwe waiting to happen. It's unbelievable. Anybody with sense Anybody with sense, if you're anybody, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, if you're an American, get the hell out of there. If you love being American, get the hell. If you're Hispanic, you love being American, get the hell out of there. Because the only thing that's going to be left in California is a bunch of third world refuse and self-hating white people who call themselves liberals. Those are the only people that are going to be left in California is third world refuse and self-hating white people who call themselves liberals and tolerant and trendy. It is a shithole. I have friends in Cali whom I love dearly, and I'm saying to myself, my God, how do you live there? Like, how do you live there? Like, at what point do we classify this type of political thought as a mental illness? At what point do we say to ourselves, people who put out an indictment, people who pass a judgment like this are not fit to rule, are not fit to run a lemonade stand, let alone a state? They've ran your state into the toilet. You have the highest taxes. You have a property tax bubble, the likes of which the world has never seen. I mean, why? Why stay in that hellhole? It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, Steve. And we will see, in terms of California, the amount of corporations that are leaving the state, going to Texas, and you're absolutely right regarding the taxes. But we're also witnessing the new housing bubbles that are starting to occur, not only here in the U.S., but have really impacted the Australian banks. And we're starting to witness that happen, as far as their housing market bubble bursting.
Yeah, man. It's happening in Australia. The prices are crashing down very, very quickly, and they just can't stop what is happening because what is happening is just beyond their control. You're seeing it in Australia, you're seeing it in Canada, you're seeing it everywhere, and there's simply no stopping this, man. And it's going to happen here. It's going to happen here, and it's going to happen here very quickly. And there's nothing that they can do about it because you can hide a lot of your financial fraud in the housing market. You can hide a lot of this mortgage-backed securities and propping the artificial real estate market up for so long before this whole thing goes pop, man. But yeah, it's happening in Australia. It's happening in Canada. It's happening in many places across Europe. It's happening here in the United States. Foreclosures in Manhattan up 79%. Don't believe me? Google it. Foreclosures up 79% in Manhattan. Property values in the Hamptons, darling, which is the most affluent neighborhood pretty much in New York, is down 20%. Greenwich, Connecticut, billionaire, area right there. You got the most amount of billionaires living in a square block is in Greenwich. The amount of mega mansions that are there, they're all discounted 20, 30%. It's unbelievable. You had Drunken Miller who just sold his $35 million mansion or $40 million mansion. He sold it for 20% below market value. He's trying to get the hell out. It's happening here, but Joe and Jane Public don't seem to get it because Joe and Jane Public is still delusional, thinking that I must buy a house because it is an asset. It's not an asset. Never will be an asset. It is a waste. Wealthy people don't own property like that. They either rent it or they lease it or they have some sort of a property management company in which they own, and that acquires the property, so there's no risk to them, and they pay rent to themselves. Okay, that's the way the game is played. It's us middle-class idiots and the working class who think I must somehow put a $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $1 million noose around my neck so I can show off to people who don't give a rat's rear end about me and pretend that I've made it in this thing called the American dream and delude myself. Do you realize 90% of people, I mean like 97% of Americans have most of their money in a home? How pathetic. How pathetic. Look, dude, if I was given an option, okay, where I could own property without putting out my money to risk, I would do it. But if that's not the option, man, I will just live in the nicest, I would rent the nicest, apartment, nicest home, whatever. right? And have tens of millions of dollars in the bank and have a lifestyle. I would own assets. I would own businesses. That's how you do it. Like, why can't we have the shift in this mentality? And until we have that shift in this mentality that we have, these are the types of things that happen where we have massive housing bubbles. Anyway, Siege, moving on. The first Google killer takes shape. BitClave. I'm excited about this, man. BitClave, the world's first decentralized search engine, raises $25 million in 32 seconds. Siege. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, very cool in terms of the ICO market. I really like their thought process regarding using blockchain, really eliminating the ad service middleman, really allowing the consumers to customize which ads they potentially want to see, and rewarding them for it. So
yeah,
we all know that Google needs some competition. So to the tech sector, I support V.
Absolutely. Alex Besnov, the CEO of BitClave, said this is a spectacular result, would not have been possible without the support we've had from our community and followers. We're incredibly grateful for this network that we have. The token sale is only the beginning of the journey. For the next step, we're going to hit the market with the first mass solution and clearly demonstrate the usefulness of the system. You can expect announcements from open source SDK releases, commercial partnerships, community grants, all aimed at bootstrapping the growing network. Stay tuned. I mean, dude, I'm excited about this. BitClave is going to be great. I mean, this is a search engine that was going to reward you, folks. It's going to reward you. And if those people who are content creators who create the most searched topics, they're going to be rewarded. It's going to be the best way to go. It's decentralized. And why is this decentralized? Because the guy, Alex, the CEO, he realizes this, folks. If you're developing the world's first decentralized blockchain search engine, you're setting yourself up for the upcoming decentralized internet. The race of the next generation search engine is on its way. And Google is too busy hiring blue-haired feminazis, SJWs, who like to go around and virtue signal for them to even get their heads out of their butts to get to really take any sort of reaction to this. They're going to be late because they're so big and they're so monolithic, they're so bureaucratic. They're going to be slow to respond to this, my man. I promise you that. The decentralized future is here. Decentralized internet. The internet is about to get disrupted. Go ahead with net neutrality. It doesn't matter anymore. What's net neutrality, CJ, in the decentralized internet?
Right. Exactly.
That's my evil laugh. Oh, man. Anyway, brother, we got the BOE, the Bank of England, says that BTC, that Bitcoin is not a threat to the global economy. The bubble-blowing central bankers are starting to admit it, CJ. The Fed always follows the BOE. So very interesting thing to see this, my man.
Yeah, very interesting. When you see the fact that they're, coming to the realization that, the cryptocurrency market, particular Bitcoin that is, we all know that surpassed 11,000 level, that one of their deputy governors, Sir John Cunliffe, basically has stated out the reason that, Bitcoin is not a threat is in part, like what we've continued to state, that there's so much other traditional investment money that's out there, and Bitcoin currently represents just a very small fraction of that.
Yep. Absolutely, my man, because the market cap is still low on cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is $300 billion. That's it. $300 billion. Where you have the majority of people that are putting their money in equities and whatnot, and this, that, and the other. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So, the whole entire thing is cryptocurrencies are being recognized. It's being recognized by the fraudsters, and the fraudsters, for them to recognize and say some nice platitudes about it, it's because they know the handwriting's on the wall. They're not going to win this. They're in the losing side. So right now it's clean house. Right now is make as much money as you can or bust. Moving
on.
CJ,
right, absolutely.
The deep delusion that is the military-industrial complex and the DF-21 wake-up call which is the DF-21 is a Chinese cruise missile that China's developed. They can field over 1,200 of these. These are Mach 12 times the speed of sound, man. Mach 12.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yep. You see, we have this crazy idea that the carrier means something. Oh, we have an aircraft carrier battle group. Aircraft carriers are obsolete. They've been obsolete since the 50s, okay, when carrier-killing missiles were developed by the Soviet Union back at that time. Well, China has the DF-21. And when you read about this monster, you thought the Russian Zircons were badass. You thought, the Zircon missiles were pretty nasty. Well, this is a nasty one. The DF-21D, which many experts describe as a carrier killer, is an absolute savage. How the missile works is key to understanding what modern-day U.S. aircraft carriers face. The missile is mobile, can carry and travel anywhere via truck, making its detection extremely difficult. Okay, when launched, here's what we're going to tickle your fancy right here, folks, especially if you love hardware and technology. When launched, the weapon is guided using over-the-horizon radars, new satellite networks, i.e., folks, that means they're new quantum satellites that China's launched, which is like 3 generations ahead of what we have, and possibly even drones or commercial vessels being used as scouts. The system also has a maneuverable warhead to help defeat missile defense systems. Now, when it does find its target, which is, let's say, a U.S. aircraft carrier, it can descend from the sky and strike at speeds approaching Mach 12. I mean, this is not supersonic, folks. This is pure hypersonic. There's no defense against it. Worst of all, the missile, on top of this, guys, has a 1,000-mile range. Okay? Many of them, perhaps hundreds, are already fully operational, ready for action. One report has already claimed that China could build 1,227 DF-21Ds for every carrier the U.S. military sends to sea. I mean, what more can I say, man?
Right, absolutely.
What more can I say?
Absolutely.
This is why we need to get off our war footing. This is why we need to get off this Empire USA. We need to get off this, the American way of life is non-negotiable. The American way of life is very negotiable. And the way we get out of this perpetual war, perpetual debt paradigm is to get into perpetual business and perpetual profit. Okay, that's what we need to do with perpetual trade, real trade, fair trade. We still have some of the best businessmen in the world. We still have those who can turn the ship and correct the course that we're on. We still have this ability to really jump to the forefront of innovation and development. But we can't do that without these scum-sucking bankers on our back, man. We got to get rid of them.
That's exactly right, V, because there's more data that's coming out, and specifically there's a report that just came out in regards to the fact that robots and automation could nearly replace a third of the U.S. workforce by the year 2030, V.
Yep. I want a fair salary, $15 an hour. Okay. Next 13 years, the rising tide of automation is going to force as many as 70 million workers out of the United States to find another way to make money. 70 million. Folks, you better figure out if you're huge. Go ahead, Siege. Go ahead.
No, that's huge. I mean, this report that came out from McKinsey, just kind of predicts that. And it's not only here in the U.S., this is going to impact, globally. So if there's ever a time to really start, researching, whether it's a new job skill, whether it's an existing hobby, something you make, a passion of yours, now's the right time to be. And we've talked about this several times, because in terms of the future industries and how things are evolving and the disruptive technologies that are coming, this is going to come to realization here pretty quick, here in the United States. So something heads up on that, it's time to start, taking a look, anything that's related to repetitive tasks, even, warehouse, service sector, a lot of those jobs are going to be replaced by automation here pretty soon.
Yeah, here's the scary part, Siege. I even heard rumors that they're actually developing a robot to replace me. I've heard these rumors, bro. I can't verify it, but I'm hearing these rumors, man. And this is why, folks, you need to figure it out, because you never know if your job is secure or not. Like right now, I don't know if my job is secure. I might be replaced by a robot. You never know. Moving on, El Cuco. What do we got next? We got GOP.
Yeah, just real quick.
Good.
Yeah, the GOP hit their tax plan hit troubled waters yesterday, as you know, kind of like what we covered. Some of this information is coming out regarding the tax plan that in fact it's going to, you know, raise the debt. Now, one thing that's tough to stomach for a lot of the senators is the fact that, you know, kind of like again that we discussed the other day on a show, that after several years, in order for them to drive down the promised effect to the national debt, which is right now they've got it down to about $1 trillion, which is still pretty significant. That at the end of this potential tax reform plan is that they will have to include over $350 billion in new tax hikes to offset that. So that, in other words, they have to project raising taxes in order to cut taxes.
That makes perfect sense to me, CJ. Only in the delusional mind of a bureaucrat does that make any sort of sense. Only in the delusional mind of a bureaucrat would they go ahead and say, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, this is the type of delusion we're dealing with here, folks. It's unbelievable, to say the least. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so we'll see. They're scheduled. They were supposed to schedule to vote on it yesterday, but that didn't work. So they're supposed to vote on it today. This is going to be interesting to watch this play out, V.
Switching gears real quick, where Reefer Madness is at it again. What is Reefer Madness Sessions? What is he doing?
Yeah, well, it's amazing to see the Justice Department and how they've been directing states' attorney generals in regards to the opioid crisis. And what's really transpiring that, V, is when you take a look at the amount of funds that are going directly to the states, we're seeing that most of the funds is kind of a continuation, V, of the drug wars that have been so successful. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing that, in fact, that when you break down some of the basics regarding the initiatives that are being created with Jeff Sessions, with the DEA, it includes $12 million in grant funding to state and local enforcement agencies, specifically engaged in investigating a new DEA field office in Louisville, Kentucky, that's going to be funded, a new opioid coordinator for the United States.
Where's his
all
office?
These things.
Siege, this opioid coordinator. Is his office in Afghanistan, Kabul? In Kabul, Afghanistan? Is that what his office is?
It might as well be, right? It should be.
Right. I mean, if you're going to talk about an opioid coordinator, the real opioid coordinator is hanging out in Afghanistan, right off the outskirts of Kabul. We have U.S. military guys guarding it against. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're like, what the hell are we doing here? That's the real opioid coordinator, is Uncle Sam himself. But go ahead, Siege.
Yeah, no, and a lot of this is coming, you know, directly under the tax, not only in terms of the opioids, but also medical cannabis as well. You know, these AGs. I know, you know, Indiana, kind of an ass-backward state recently. The Indiana AG, Curtis Hill, and the governor has completely banned hemp-based CBD that contains no THC. So the state of Indiana is in uproar. They're following, and ironically enough, right before they did that, less than a month ago, Jeff Sessions had been in Indiana, and I've been able to track to see where the Indiana AG received close to $750,000 from the AG attorney's national fundraising campaign to pay for these things. So there is no doubt that if Sessions stays in office, that you will begin to see probably next year his attempt to crack down on medical legalization in the United States.
Sessions got to go. Jeff, I really appreciate your work in catching pedos. But once we're done with that, man, you need to go, bro. You are like a throwback to a bygone era we don't need to visit anymore. You're ridiculous. Troubled waters for the administration, CJ. What is all that about? Trump threatens. Oh God, what's going on here now?
Yeah, well, this is breaking news, and it's been reported for a couple of days now, and we're not quite sure where these leaks are coming from. However, we're seeing multiple, you know, news reporting in regards to the potential of Rex Tillerson stepping away effective January 1st, and that he would be replaced by CIA Director Mike Pompeo, and then Pompeo would be replaced by Tom Cotton. Now, I think potentially what's driving this is specifically regarding North Korea. I really think that Tillerson is wanting to exhaust all diplomatic means of negotiations, of talks. He's been criticized. I know that even we had some thought that perhaps maybe that the whole Trump Tillerson thing was just for the media, just a spectacle. But it does appear now that potentially that Tillerson will be on his way out effective January 1.
Mike Pompeo has enough foreign policy experience that a kindergartner would have in piloting the space shuttle. That is Mike Pompeo's experience in real world politics. Tom Cotton is an unhinged son of a bitch. Tom Cotton is a war hawk. He's a moron. He is a disgusting piece of filth. He is a neocon through and through. He is a sheep-dipped neocon. This guy is someone who is of the John McCain ilk. Cotton is a dangerous character. I don't like him. I'd punch the guy straight in his chest if I saw him. Straight up, I don't care. This guy was an Army Ranger. I'd give you a tussle and a half, brother. Believe me. Tom Cotton, I can't stand him. Guy dangerous. I don't like this move, Siege. I don't.
Well, I'm really hoping it's the deep state, the cabal, whatever we want to call them. I'm really hoping that this information coming out and being leaked. You remember how much change that has occurred in the administration? General John Kelly taking over as White House chief of staff. Why are these leaks still happening? How is this information, if he's so effective of, being a general and taking over a chief of staff, how are these leaks still coming out? So I'm really hoping, that this is an attempt to cause more chaos to the administration, disruptive. And I know earlier I talked about conspiracies and everything else, but I'm like you, that this would signal a complete surrounding of the administration, of these war hawks, these neocons. And I don't know why it always happens, but it seems like it always happens to a Republican administration. Why is it that the Republican administrations always deliver us a war?
Because they're assholes. They can't help themselves.
Afghanistan, and the new one, I mean, they really, push us. Obama does it illegally, right? The Democrats do it illegally by funding ISIS and creating proxy armies.
Are slick about it.
But Republicans, they just want to use military assets.
Yeah. At least the Democrats are slick about it, man. These guys are overtly. I mean, Tom Cotton. I mean, seriously, Tom bastard ass Cotton, the youngest prick in Congress or Senate, whatever, right? The youngest idiot to win an office. This prick is going to be the CIA director. Please tell me no. Please tell me.
Well, it was worse than that 6 months ago when they were considering Nikki Haley to take over for Tillerson. So be thankful.
I would have hung myself in the office on a rotating fan. But I'm so damn heavy, I'll probably pull the fan out of the ceiling. I would have hung myself out of my office window. Nikki Haley. I mean, I know, dude. I was terrified, TJ. I was. Oh my God, I was mortified when I heard that rumor. I said, God, please no. No. I was like Steve Carell on The Office. No, God, no.
Right. Yeah. So these two events with the State Department and then also with the tax bill. So I imagine if nothing gets passed today, you probably will see a little bit of a downturn in the market as well.
Mm-hmm. They'll hit the button. There'll be some sell-offs. Then and then there'll be some buybacks. And then Monday we're back to 24,000.
Exactly. They'll be over it. They drank the weekend.
We got
like, okay,
down 29,000, folks. Remember who's been touting that when everybody's saying there's going to be a crash, there's going to be a crash, there's going to be a crash, there's going to be a crash. Remember that. It's yours truly. Anyway, with that being said, Siege, what else we got to cover? I think we're at the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, here we go. Just real quick, because I know I didn't give time. So 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, hanging with Harley. Excited that he's able to do a show with us. At 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Rory from the Daily Coin. So that'll be exciting. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Ivan Throne, Dark Triad Man.
Yep, I can't wait. Looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, with that being said, we are over and out. Take it away, El Cuco!